Stimulus update. New proposal could give Americans monthly $1,200 checks. This just coming out. And take a look. That's not all, though. U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar, Minnesota child tax credit proposal should be a national model, as they're saying everybody in the nation should get a $1,200 stimulus check monthly, and also parents should get $300 per month stimulus checks as well, the child tax credits. Now, I'm going to give you all the details because this just came out this week in April of 2023, and they're saying, yes, we need to bring these back and they need to be done. Now, I've let you guys know here on the channel, I keep you up to date on stimulus, child tax credits, Congress, the economy, Social Security, and people have been asking what is going on a federal level for stimulus. Well, this just coming out, I'm going to give you all the details. Now, I'm also going to be sharing with you how much money we actually have left over in the COVID money tracker. As I've mentioned to you several times, there has been about $6 trillion that has been allocated to go out for stimulus to help with the pandemic, of which $5.6 trillion has been used, which means there literally remains $400 billion of leftover excess stimulus funds at our disposal, and that is roughly enough where they could do a one-time $1,200 stimulus check if they'd like. But what's being proposed here is monthly checks. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, and as you guys know, I'm going to cite the sources, link them in the description so you can read them for yourself and see the latest. And if you appreciate that, do me a quick favor, smash the like button, just takes a second. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. Why not? It's totally free. As stuff comes out with Congress, legislation, the economy, I will keep you up to date. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on what's happening right now with proposals for more stimulus. All right, so link in the description below to this article. I'm going to put it on the screen, read right from it, and source it. And let me know your thoughts before we dive in. Do you think that this is needed? Do you think that it would happen? As you know, inflation is pretty high right now at a 40-year high, and the Federal Reserve is increasing interest rates to combat this. Do you think that we would get the support for legislation to send out monthly reoccurring checks at this present time? It doesn't seem very likely unless we have a major shift in the economy and the perspective of the majority of Congress changes to the point where they say, yes, more help is needed. Now, in addition to that, also keep in mind the fact that there have been promises from the past that are still unfulfilled, like for Social Security payments, increases of $200, a fourth federal level stimulus check of $2,000 to everybody in the nation, which at this present time looks like is not going to be fulfilled as a result of the pandemic because the state of emergency, the declaration, is come to an end. It's pretty much over for that. So they're saying that more stimulus checks, though, are likely going to be needed due to the conditions of the economy whittling away. We are entering into a recession, if not a depression, and some are saying it's time for more checks. So let me know your thoughts on that, but let's dive into the article. In an April 9th op-ed, Representative Ilhan Omar, she voiced her opinion on supporting two proposals which could benefit millions of American families. The first would provide an income floor for everyone in the face of inequality. Meantime, the second proposal would make the expanded child tax credit permanent. First, Omar said that she will keep pushing for measures such as the guaranteed income through legislative proposals like the SUPPORT Act. The SUPPORT Act would ostensibly send $1,200 per month to every adult and $600 per month to every child through local governments via cash payments over a 5-year period. This bill builds on successful guaranteed income pilot programs that we have seen in localities nationwide, including Minneapolis and St. Paul, she wrote. End Child Poverty Act could be an alternative. In addition, Omar, along with Representative Rashida Tlaib and Jesus Garcia, reintroduced the End Child Poverty Act, which would replace CTC or child tax credits and the child provisions in the Earned Income Tax Credit, or the EITC, which many people call the adult tax credits, many of them that went out, you didn't have to have children, with a universal child benefit according to a statement. Now, the three lawmakers said in an April 6th announcement, so just less than a week ago, that on a federal level, this program would be universal and include no income phase-ins or phase-outs. Children would be automatically enrolled at birth, and every family would receive a monthly payment distributed by the Social Security Administration for every child they are currently caring for up until age 18. Now, Minnesota may expand the state child tax credit. The lawmakers initially initiative is perhaps inspired by Minnesota's own proposal, under which families earning less than $50,000 would be given $1,000 per child through the state child tax credit, regardless of their tax liability, as Omar wrote. Now, the checks are estimated to benefit 2.5 million Minnesota families, totaling $3.9 billion. Families could start receiving checks in the early fall, and the plan also expands the child and dependent care credit to help families afford childcare. Families would receive up to $4,000 per child under the age of 5, with a maximum of $10,500 for childcare, she wrote. So let me know your thoughts. What if they did something like this on a federal level? It is a tragedy that we let the child tax credit expansion expire. I am thrilled that Minnesota plans to expand the state's child tax credit, but Congress must take federal action to address child poverty and help millions of families afford basics like food, rent, childcare, and healthcare. Omar wrote on April 6th announcement, adding that the End Child Poverty Act would cut childhood poverty by nearly 2/3. And yes, we've heard that the child tax credits have helped lift millions of children out of poverty, and when that expired, a lot of people fell back into poverty, and those children as well. As the Motley Fool noted, however, while Elian is not the only lawmaker supporting these ideas, there is currently no majority support for them. So as I let you guys know, it seems highly unlikely at this present time with the way that things are, especially with inflation, that there would be support for this. But again, if there is a major shift in our economy and there's a big downturn, which we're hearing could be coming here, this could become a possibility. So while these proposals to restore and expand stimulus money won't be passed anytime soon, those hoping for another check still have reason to believe that they aren't off of the table as the conversations about more aid remains ongoing, the Motley Fool details. And that is exactly what I let you guys know here on the channel, that there is still talks going on by many members of Congress to, in some form or fashion, provide stimulus for those that need it. However, at this present time, in regards to the pandemic, as I mentioned, it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. But if we have economic issues, these are still on the table for consideration. And a lot of people are asking, what is going to be happening with those excess funds? Now, let's take a look just one last time here so you can go ahead and see it for yourself. Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. Now, this is the COVID money tracker. I will also link this in the description so you can check it for yourself. I always cite all the sources. And you can see here the orange bar, legislative actions, 5.6 trillion of 6 trillion has been spent, which means there remains $400 billion, which let's go ahead and take a look at the previous stimulus checks on a federal level so we can see the price tags of those direct payments. And if we click the plus sign, you can see the drop down, and you can see that the third stimulus check of $1,400, that had a $418 billion price tag. So we actually don't have enough remaining funds to send out a $1,400 stimulus check to everybody that received them before. The first stimulus check of $1,200, that had a price tag of $276 billion. So we could definitely make another $1,200 stimulus check happen, a one-time payment. And the $600 stimulus checks, that second check that went out from former President Donald Trump, that had a price tag of $165 billion. So, like I said, we could definitely make a $1,200 check happen again. And now they're proposing, let's do this monthly. But keep in mind the fact that, as we see here, a $1,200 stimulus check federally would cost $276 billion. Now they're proposing that we send that out every single month. So $276 billion every single month. So in this inflationary environment, like I said, that's a pretty hefty price tag. Now, I will definitely be keeping an eye on the COVID money tracker, and here's why. I've let you know in previous videos that right now we have hit the debt ceiling and we could be going into a default if they don't negotiate something on the budget here. Republicans and Democrats can't see eye to eye on it, except for they said there's no cuts to Social Security. However, just released were some details this week about some of the things being proposed, and one of them is rescinding and taking back these funds for stimulus. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date. But to hear the latest on that, be sure to check out this video next. And like I said, I'll keep you up to date on Social Security and all the other benefits that are coming out so you know what's going on. And if you appreciate that, once again, do me a quick favor, smash the like button, subscribe to stay up to date, and I'll see you in the next video. Check this one out next. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.